indeed. Good afternoon, morning, or evening, ladies and gentlemen. Who knows when you're actually going to be listening to this or when I'll actually decide to fucking put it out. My name is Madd Maxxx. With me is Reverend Television. Now, we have done some episodes before, so y'all are familiar. I was trying to make some episodes on my own, trying to kind of keep it going while the homie was busy, and we just had other stuff going on. But trying to reintroduce him a little bit, and also the old episodes that I had made, they really just, they didn't really hold up, and whether or not they did hold up, certain parts of things, like I made a release date for Kaleidoscope that I can't hold to, so it's kind of a good thing I didn't release it. But as always, my Patreon subscribers, I want to make sure that you know, I'm going to be sending out rough cuts of some of my Kaleidoscope tracks in the next week or so, because I feel like that is, that's what you guys are here for. The podcast is cool, but I know that you guys follow me for my music, so I do want to give you guys an opportunity to hear the very rough cuts of, like, purely unmixed songs, so that you can, hear the transition of, what they're going to become. But obviously don't fucking show nobody. But yeah, we wanted to discuss, because it's been quite a weekend.
Yeah, it was dope, man.
I actually took a pretty good amount of pictures that we can take a look at, and I'm gonna start putting stuff more up on the Patreon and some of the other.
You should put the ones Chris took. Didn't he say he took some with the camera?
I think at Lethal Weekend he did for the actual camera. I don't know how much he was actually using the camera. That camera has just been, it's one of the, again, it's like working out, like I said. We need to get into the habit of using it so that I actually should probably be recording these. I notice every podcast is video recorded.
Stream.
So just the video recording of, like Tom Segura's Two Bears, One Cave, but they obviously have multiple cameras where they go back. Exactly.
Like
so,
you know what we need to do next time, and I was talking about it, but we didn't do it this time. And anybody who listens to this, hold us accountable.
Yes.
Hold us accountable for this. We're going to ask some fucking questions. And we don't know what the fuck it is, clearly. But, like,
we can come up with a question on the fly.
Come up with a question on the fly right now. And then we're going to have people answer next week.
Well, on the fly doesn't.
You just said on the fly.
On the fly doesn't mean.
This is on the motherfucking fly.
But it doesn't mean immediately. That's actually going to take some time and discussion.
Okay. Well, I know how your brain works. So let it, as we're talking, let the rat in the fucking wheel spin.
No, I will, and that's what I'm saying. I'll think about it, and then we will.
I know you can freestyle, so I know you're thinking about it right now already.
I'll bring it back up. No, now I'm actually just. Well, anyway, listen, motherfucker. No, so what we are talking about is Hip Hop Zombies Ate My Neighbors. That was a 2-night experience, first in Parma, Ohio, and second in New Haven, Indiana at Carl's. Now, it was like, for me, I've been to both of these places pretty frequently. Well, actually, no, not frequently. Carl's I've been to frequently. Shadows, actually, I did not realize I had been there before until I got there. I saw a picture that Cody took, and I was like, oh, is that the place? And then when I got there, I was like, fuck, yeah, it is. I played with Low-Key and Zool years ago on the Summoning Tour there. And this show was pretty much, about the same success level. There were probably more people at their show when we did it years ago. But I found the show to be a success. I think it was a good time.
Oh, I had a blast. The people there, Legion, that crew,
yeah, SON, something
those motherfuckers.
Grant Us Eyes.
So into it.
Oh,
I love that about that.
Oh, no, you didn't even see the full theatrical. When they have a bigger stage, he wears the mask, and there's other people on stage, if I recall correctly.
Well, he had some hyphy fucking hype men.
Oh, well, no, okay, so there you go. Not only just that, but, again, theatricality is, again, the name of the game with SON.
Yeah.
I remember he was talking to me about that, like, if you want to introduce a little bit more theatricality, which I always do. My thing is, I am not as much, like... One thing I thought was really cool, and this is why I've talked about this is some shit that I kind of want to do, and I probably will do this at some point. Like, his music, like Grant Us Eyes, which is out now, I believe. I think that you can buy it I think you can also stream it. So go check that out, s.o.n. But a lot of that imagery and craziness, aside from like the devil specifically, it like Berserk. You know, like Berserk.
Yeah,
The
he's
big
pointing
sword.
to his tattoo on his arm.
Well, and then there's this one also. But
And he has another symbol on his neck.
the point is that it's very might and magic, very like kind of Arthurian, like Macbeth. I remember reading something that Berserk was heavily inspired by Macbeth. But the point is just that kind of imagery, like that's like concept stuff for me. And I like a concept album. I'm into that shit. I think I might have told you this years ago, and this is I'm so fucking lame for this, dude. I'm so lame for this. Infinity made 1408, and I was like, that's cool. I want to make a CD about a movie. So I fucking wrote, and they were actually pretty good. And they were good beats too. When I was living in Milford, I had this little black laptop, and I had the beats on there, and it was Insidious. You ever seen Insidious?
Yeah.
It was basically like rap songs about Insidious. They're like doing it that way. And it was, I think it was good. As I remember this shit, it was pretty good. But like, I have to endeavor to do that specifically. Like Dead Leaves was a like Halloween based project. That's why it sounds the way it does. Outside of the, I Hate Myself in New England Love Story.
Dude, I love concept albums. Many people who listen to this, they don't know. I was in a weird. I'm still. It's just we're kind of on hiatus. Weird Die Young.
Weird Die. I was trying to get Ant Hill Mountain.
I know they can't see your fingers, man. I'm trying to explain Weird Die Young here in our concept albums.
That's what I'm saying. Is that was
so for everybody who doesn't know, we had Weird Die Young. It was a comedy rap group, and we had a couple concept albums. Actually, we had for the first one we did was called Halloweeny P, spelled Halloweeny like your peenie, and then P like you pee. And it was all about us like going to get drugs at this we went to a party, and then we got kicked out of the party. So then we went to a haunted house and then took a bunch of drugs, and we summoned the Ouija genie and the whole bit. And then we also did this other concept album, Ant Hill Mountain, which Max is actually on with Rich Quick, rest in peace. And
Rip. Rich Quick was such a cool dude, man.
Yeah. Red Rover, though, that was a fun ass fucking track. But yeah, I'm a huge fan of concept albums, and obviously everybody listens to this and is familiar with the scene. It's because of all the fucking music that we listen to is all conceptual, and even beyond ICP. Prior to that, I always was into because I think it's the interest in musicals and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, no, same. I
mean?
I have no shame. Like when I was a kid, I had a drum set, and one of the things I used to practice drums to was one of the songs from Rent, because my parents took me to see Rent.
I only listened to Rent.
It.
I've listened. I only seen Rent recently, like in the past couple years when Vicky put me on to it.
Wow.
I always liked weird fucking musicals, like your classic Little Shop of Horrors and Rocky Horror Picture Show.
I remember
and
my thing
Grease
was
2,
because
Grease 2, motherfucker.
Yeah, right.
Michelle Pfeiffer, she's hot.
It's amazing that kind of. It's like Greg Giraldo talked about. He heard a dude in fucking New York say, "The Hakuna Matata, motherfucker, from the motherfucking Lion King."
Well,
what the fuck? What conversation could you possibly have been having where you had to be where Hakuna Matata and motherfucker end up in the same sentence?
I'm just defensive about Grease 2, man.
No, but you want to know what?
Chris, he shouted out Grease 2 in a rhyme, and he's the man for it. And concept albums. You want to talk about concept albums?
No, you're
MC
absolutely.
Chris, are you kidding me?
Oh yeah. No, but what I was gonna say is, when I was a kid, because my parents were from New York City and Long Island, and we would go into the city pretty often, I ended up seeing a decent amount of musicals, and fucking like Rent was one. I saw Jekyll and Hyde. That was another one.
Oh, nice.
So like,
you get to see Phantom of the Opera. I always wanted to see that shit when I was a kid.
Maybe I can't remember. That may have been one that I saw when I saw Wicked.
Nice.
Oh wait, no. You know what? It wasn't Wicked. It was the actual Wizard of Oz, and they did a song called The Jitterbug, and I was super confused because I was like,
"How are they doing the Jitterbug in Oz?"
Well, but because it was from the original play. That's where the Wizard of Oz was a play.
That's where the Jitterbug originated.
Not even
in the dimension of Oz, in the Emerald City.
I suppose that is possible. It's funny. I watched, and I wasn't tripping, but everybody else was. because I didn't realize that I could trip and not get in trouble for it. But
What do you mean you can trip and not get in trouble for
I
it?
can't really test for it.
Oh, okay. I thought like someone was gonna admonish you, and you're like,
no.
That's why I was like, what
I give a fuck about that part.
Listen, how?
No,
the fuck?
but in any case,
yeah.
Well, one of the first times I hung out with Tracy and Crack, it was before I actually officially moved out here, and everybody was watching The Wall.
Oh fuck yeah,
tripping
dude.
out, and
classic.
But so. That's
always wanted for the music I wanted.
I've always wanted to. Well, no, I did not for nothing. But I've always wanted to, and I never have, watch The Wizard of Oz synced up.
Oh, with Dark Side of the Moon.
Because whichever
There's
one it
several movies
is.
I heard too, like The Matrix apparently does it. Because you got to do it, you have to stop the movie and then repeat it as well.
What do you mean?
Like when the album plays, and then you just keep looping the album, and so like it plays through. You just have Dark Side of the Moon.
How long is the album?
It's like It's like a half hour, 45 minutes.
Is that really it?
Yeah, it's not an hour. It's not.
Wow,
it might be close to an hour, but it's not. Dark Side of the Moon is like 8 tracks or 12, maybe 12 tracks. I used to listen to that album a lot.
No, I can imagine.
But I didn't do the sync up, but I read about it, and there's several articles. There's several movies. I can't remember. It was Goodfellas.
That would be insane.
It was fucking The Matrix and Wizard of Oz and one other one that escapes me at the moment. But
I have to wonder if it's perfect syncs or if it's just certain specific moments.
They said that if you repeat it and loop it, there's like they cited specific things like in The Matrix when the line, and this is why it has to be looped. The lunatic is in my head. I can't remember the name of it's like the end song, the lunatic is in my head. When that line happens, that's like apparently right when it happens, that's when they plug Neo into the Matrix. The lunatic's in my head. And it's like that's the synchronicities they're talking about. It's like little lines like that. And then Goodfellas, during Money, like there's a part where like there's cash registers and stuff like that. And that like it syncs up right with like the cash registers.
That's what I was gonna say was
off,
that
you know?
The Wizard of Oz with that what am I thinking here?
The midget jerking off and hanging.
No.
It's the first time someone ever choke jacked it in history. It was on screen.
David Carradine it long before David Carradine would David Carradine it.
Yeah, we call it lollipopping back in the day.
Lollipopping. That is definitely.
We represent.
It's actually funny you would say that shit because I was in a play in school.
I was a lollipop kid.
I was in the lollipop kid.
Yeah,
fuck yeah, lollipop
dude.
gang, bro.
And in the name of, we welcome you to Munchkin Land. Yeah, and I was the Tin Man.
Isn't it so
and
weird?
I switch roles back in the day.
Isn't it so
like, you have
weird?
Sex with a guy, then a girl. No, I'm saying like you know. But anyways, like, well, your aunt or your uncle, however it was. But no, like when you did plays back in the day, you would switch. Like, like I was in Greece, I was Johnny Casino, the cool guy who sung Hand Jive, and then I was Hand Jive, baby. And then I was Eugene, the nerd, because the nerd had a lot more roles in the play.
Lines.
Yeah, lines. Yeah, exactly. And I played that, so it was just polar opposites. It's funny how that was. What's dope about concept albums is you can like fucking plug and play any like ideology,
That's
your
exactly...
life. You know what I mean? Like anything. It's
Dude,
like
think
it's like
about...
a dogma almost if you nail it.
No, you're absolutely right.
That's what I tried to do with Anthill Mountain. You know what I mean? You think I can't even remember. I used to trip on the slogan for it. It's not as big.
It's not as big as you think it is.
It's not as big as it seems.
Well, because you want to know what? To me, because of that specifically, knowing what it was meant to be.
It was like a triple entendre because it's for the scene, right? And then it's also for your penis, because if you listen to the adult version, because with this album, we made a kid's version where we didn't swear. And I remember it tripped up Max because he was talking about getting high with Mr. Garrison, and then you had changed the line to passing time with the Garrett. Passing time with the Garrison.
No, but I think that's a very important thing to be able to do.
Yeah.
To be able to write
that was a big motivation of it, because MC Chris, like, hate to be on his dick so hard, but big influence.
Hey, he wouldn't mind.
He made a fucking, I heard that about him. No, I'm just playing.
No,
but for real. Like,
respect to him. Are you kidding me? The way that I have seen him stand up for himself, in the fact that, bro, something's got to give. I'd love for him to hear it just because of his trajectory.
I know
his wife became a fucking QAnon nut, leaves him to go do whatever fucking insane shit. She might have even been at the fucking Capitol.
Oh, dude.
And then he's taking care of his kid. Infinite respect for him.
I have Facebook friends with him. He has no shame, and I've been there. Not with a kid though, at all.
And
I
see the fucking awful shit that people say to him.
People are terrible. You know what I mean?
At the end of the day, nerds, dude.
You know what?
No one wants to say
man?
it, but
I'm a hella emotional guy. Like I'm bipolar.
Same.
You know what I mean? Dude. Like whatever. And it's really not fair how people will fucking crucify motherfuckers. But back to concept albums. You know what I mean?
No, fair enough. And you want to know what I was going to say?
Losers,
well, no,
you know what I mean?
Fair enough. Listen. What I was saying was that Anthill Mountain. I mean, again, I thought that was. It's a shame because to me, and this is. I hope that you
can find that on Bandcamp. Just a shameless
plug,
by the way.
No,
yeah,
awesome Bandcamp.
Weird Die Young Bandcamp. You can find.
Is that WeirdDieYoung.bandcamp.com?
Exactly.
WeirdDieYoung.bandcamp.com. So fucking. This I want to make sure you know is a compliment, but I feel like albums like that in the underground juggalo scene to a certain extent are pearls before swine. Because a lot of juggalos, I don't think that they, Insane Clown Posse is able to do it. And even their concept.
Bro, I am not going to front. I almost wanted to just continue this conversation because, that was a pretty offhanded statement. And I know especially, I'm familiar with your motherfucking fan base. What the fuck is pearls before swine? What does that mean?
You've never heard that before?
No.
It means that you have this amazing creation like pearls, and you're giving them to pigs. So they don't. What's a pig
to say?
Well, no, dude. Here's the thing. It's not. It's not because the fact is, like I was
you're
trying
all
to say,
swine. No, I'm just playing.
Well, first of all, you want to know what?
No, I'm a swine. You're a swine. We're all swine. Yeah.
Is that a song? I don't.
That's my reiteration of I'm a dude.
Oh, that's funny. No, listen, dude.
Is it
to you?
Yeah.
It is a compliment. To juggalos, I guess fine. Let it be an insult. I don't care. The fact is, ICP when they did their concept albums, it was a concept. It was very loose.
Yeah.
What does Cemetery Girl actually have to do with the Riddle Box?
True. Yeah.
So at the end of the day,
it's not like creation to execution, which you got to give Q Strange's roses too, because I've been around here for a long time, and he creation to execution's a crazy. That's a concept album where every track serves the story.
Right.
There's not one erroneous track. You know what I mean?
No, I know exactly what you're saying. This is what I mean is that. In the sense of what you made, not even just, let's say, juggalos, our scene, I feel like there's barely enough appreciation for the music itself.
Oh, especially, thank you.
That's all it is.
I know it's a long-winded compliment. No, I'm just playing. But
well, that's why I literally prefaced it with I want to make sure you know it's a compliment.
Yeah. That's why I had to ask and clarify, because I know I'm not the only person who didn't fucking hear that phrase before.
Pearls before swine basically means that you have something that
it's before the swine, like you're presenting them.
Like
I thought you were talking about you give your pearls before you swine. You know what I mean? Listen, you
gotta trade the pearls and
before you get the swine or something like that. So I was yeah, okay. No, I don't know what the fuck you're saying.
Oh my god.
No, but no, I appreciate that. And honestly, we put a lot of work into that for many reasons. I started making beats to get that shit done.
Yeah, I vaguely recall that. Were you living in Fields Corner when you did that? Yes, I do remember that.
Because
do you remember when I had the camera and I was like, oh, maybe there's not enough light, and there's like 5 lights on.
Yo, but anyways, with Anthill Mountain, we made an adult version and a kids version, and if you listen to the kids version, the songs served the concept of Anthill Mountain being an idea that you don't it's not as big as it seems in regards to your problems, and then the title track was at the end of it, and it was songs like Goldilocks, Red Rover, and it was made intentionally to have little kid tongue-in-cheek song titles and no swears. But the true concept album that served the story, and this is why it was special, was the adult version, because these skits were made to tell a completely different story about us being on acid, and Anthill Mountain wasn't a fucking metaphor. It was we were literally shrunk down to ants, and had to make penis pills for the wolf shark to make us big again. And then when you listen to the same songs that don't have swears in them, they now make sense because you're listening to the adult version. And that was fucking hard to achieve.
No, and number one, I know, and that's like, fuck Pearls Before Swine. This is Platinum and Diamonds Before Swine.
And thank you. And you know who appreciated it was Dirty Dirty. I don't know if you remember them, but they were like some ill MCs who did a concept album. When I tell you what they did, you'll remember. Chuck used to talk about them. They
the food album.
The food album.
Yes.
Rameny's Diner is what it's called. And we did a show in Providence shortly after that. And they never were, like, we played festivals. When we played a festival together and we were the only hip-hop act, they kind of respected us more because when we were at the festival level, they understood what we were really going for. Right. But they, at the same time, never swore, and they were a big influence on this too. They did not swear in their raps, but it was just hardcore hip-hop.
Right.
And they had a dope concept album that literally translated into real life, where it was a diner, and then at the release party, they fucking served food.
I remember.
You know
I remember
him
telling me about
that. So
I
got props, and this is all I need, is like, and I'm not trying to be on anybody's dick, but a fellow artist who put the same amount of fucking effort, time, thought, you know what I mean? Like, he came up to me, and like, this dude wouldn't say boo to me except for when we were at a fucking festival and he was the only other hip-hop act and everyone was on fucking club drugs besides us. Just situations of circumstance, he generally wouldn't talk to me, but he went out of his way to say, hey, I appreciate that. That's some next level shit. And it didn't catch on, but it does exist.
No, well, first of all, some bigger artists do shit like that. Like, I'm pretty sure one of the Weeknd's last albums was a concept album. And two separate points. One, I think that even just, like, to a certain extent, like Biggie's Born to Die, the one with the baby, the iconic one.
Oh, yeah.
That was essentially a concept album, too, because even just putting skits where it does have, like, an overarching...
You took the thought out of my head. To me...
Like, that is basically... That's a lost art. And that's also with Kaleidoscope, part of what I need to work some things around, because my plan, actually, is just recording my life.
Yeah.
And just getting some moments over the next few weeks.
That's dope.
No, it's but the idea that I have for it, especially with the tracks and shit, that's what I'm saying. I think that this album could potentially do some things for me, one way or another. This is also why I want to finish Kaleidoscope, and then because I got the Zombie Aristocrats EP, it's already practically done. Like, what's his name? Ritual of Ether just put out an EP that he's been promoting for months, and it was 4 songs.
Yeah,
and I heard, and people are saying it's great. So, and he is good. So, regardless of, I'm sad he wasn't able to do the show. We'll leave it at that. But he can rap. He can fucking rap for sure. So, fucking...
It's such a big part of the scene, like you were saying earlier.
The concept albums, I think... Dude, back in the day, I wanted to do something called the Psychotic Chronicle, where it was going to be concept anthology. Like, the albums all basically, like, somehow tie into each other.
Kind of like Coathanger Strangler, or more cohesive?
Less cohesive. But, less and more, depending on the way that I decided to go with it. But We Are Legion, that's supposed to be my Damien.
Yeah. I know, yeah, I remember you were explaining that.
Which, here's the thing. I was saying this to somebody the other day. If, the only way that I can expound upon it any further is I have to level up. Once I level up and I'm actually verifiably further along, the demon can pop back in.
Yeah.
And be like, oh, hey, I told you it was a process.
Yeah.
Because that's the whole, at the end of the song, is like, so how long is this going to take? Like,
it's very open-ended. I like that song.
So the problem with that, I guess, is set fires, kill people. Oh, you shouldn't have told me that. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, that's... My problem is that I don't know how much I want to full stop dedicate to horrorcore, but again, I don't know if I've ever told you, and I'm not saying it on this, but I don't know if I ever told you my climax to that story, but...
No, you haven't.
Whether or not... I put it to you like this. I have to wonder who of my family and friends that will still be around at that time, including my children, will be willing to do it. I don't know whether or not they'd be willing to take part in something that's going to be that graphic that directly involves them.
Yeah.
Because if it's not going to be them, it's going to have to be people that represent them.
Yeah.
But I'm sure that gives you at least a little bit of an idea. That gives you at least a little bit of an idea.
I don't know how much you want this to be seen.
Oh no, don't worry. Well, no,
we're just going to spell out the whole thing if we keep talking about it.
There's a difference between oh, is he saying he's gonna kill his family? Like, oh, it goes a lot deeper than that. Like, but again, the whole like,
I'm just playing.
no, this is not a Serbian film.
Yeah, you took the thought out of my head.
But no, the point here is just that I have like Coat Hanger Strangler, bro. I still to this day, when I meet Brother Lynch Hung, I am handing him $20. And he's gonna be like, "What the fuck is this for?" Actually, no, I'll probably just take it. But,
yeah, he'll be like,
"Like, what? Not like, what the fuck is this?"
Yeah.
I did not pay for Coat Hanger Strangler when I listened to it. You deserve that.
Yeah.
Like that's Coat Hanger Strangler is 3 of the best albums ever.
Oh,
and
definitely.
To me, my problem is, I don't know if it's real or not. I genuinely mean that.
Oh, I know.
Like,
that's part of the mystique of Brother Lynch Hung, man.
Like the way that it's such a weird the song that he had Tech Nine on. Don't worry, Mama, it's just bleeding. That's such a weird fucking name for a song.
My speculation.
I love that shit.
And I don't want to ever start anything with Brother Lynch Hung, so this is just speculation. I think that he probably, definitely, maybe killed some people and knows people who ate people. But maybe not necessarily did it himself.
Here's a funny thing, because
he's a fucking gangster.
It was only
dude,
that's the one thing is that he is super gangster.
And he also rocked the hip hop zombie shirt back in the day. He was the first one out of all strange music. Shout out to Brother Lynch.
No, Brother Lynch, rip gut, bro. Yeah. I love Brother Lynch's shit because it's always been not only super authentic. He's been dope the whole time in the '90s.
Oh, I know. Yeah, he's triple OG wicked shit.
So dope, dude. Not even just that, but.
He's like known as he's known as a West Coast legend. Fucking
super
rapper,
legend.
Dude.
That's why he ended up on Strange, because you always remember that when he went on to Strange, the big thing about that message, the big part about that was the fact that he was a fucking Crip, as Crip as you can be, and Tech has been rogue dog villain as blood as it gets.
Yeah.
And fucking these dudes came together on some strange music, bro.
Yeah.
So, but Brother Lynch, to me, a lot of people don't know about this guy. Richard Trenton Chase. Do you know that name?
Oh, of course, dude. He's out of his fucking mind, dude.
The fucking, the podcast that I listened to, Time Suck, they only did an episode about him, not that long ago. And he said over and over again, I can't believe we took so long to do...
Last podcast on the left did a full-part
series
I'm sure. On him, and they fucking he was a psycho.
Oh yeah, no, completely out of his mind. But this is my point: is that
he didn't think he had enough blood in his body because he couldn't get erections.
He was the vampire of Sacramento.
Yeah,
Brother Lynch Hung was from Sacktown, and
so you think maybe? Yeah.
I think that here's the thing: I could absolutely believe because serial killer allure was starting to become a thing around that time because serial killers were so popular and
that's when
for whatever reason active between the 70s and the 80s
and into the early 90s.
Yeah,
man. Jeffrey Dahmer. Jeffrey,
I always forget that Dahmer was in the 90s.
And that was the time.
I actually saw that. I think I've seen some of that on TV.
Yeah,
I remember Timothy
McVeigh.
So young. I have flash memories of Timothy McVeigh on TV.
We had morbid fascinations, so I remember I used to creep my father out. I'd be in graveyards as a kid, but all those murderous, crazy people in general, they left imprints on my brain, and I definitely have vague flashes of Dahmer.
No, same dude. In the school that I went to in Colorado,
if not him actively being the story reported, just how much he was in the zeitgeist along with Charlie Manson,
serial
Richard
killers
Ramirez,
in general. No, dude.
Serial killer trading cards, man.
No, dude. Listen, dude. I'm telling you, in the high school that I went to in Colorado, the one that was fucking, all the way out in the middle of the fucking woods and 30 miles from town or whatever, they let me do my senior English project on serial killers in movies and how they translated, the serial killers that existed. And the serial killers that you would see in movies, I did it on serial killers, and they let me rent movies that were about serial killers as part of the research for it.
Ah, that's dope.
And the whole idea, whatever it was, the pathos and ethos of fucking serial killers, but I remember it was a 19, 20-page paper, something like that, which I write. That's nothing to me, but it's just, it really is crazy when you look at because I also realized that among famous serial killers, there's so many more. But they usually come into these like very specific moments in a country's history. Like there was a bunch of serial killers at a very like within a period in Russia. Same like right after World War I in Germany. There was Fritz Harman and Karl Denke.
Well, the question could be asked, is it like that they come in spurts, or are the people prosecuting them finding and profiling them better? You know what I mean?
So that is part of it. I mean, John Douglas and fucking...
Because these things happen even in your own town. There's always loose, like murders here and there. And it, like,
there's one right up the block.
If it's the less dead, like, we all know about if you're into this shit at all. Like, if you're a prostitute or if you're black or, you know what I mean?
No,
like,
first of all, I could only imagine...
way more serial killers than you realize.
First of all, there are definitely, just so we can be clear, but I don't know the number of active serial killers there are in this country or any country at any given time, but the fact is, police now know you never announce a serial killer. You never announce that you're looking for them, because as soon as you do, they know that you're fucking looking for them.
Yeah.
So they made too many of those mistakes in the fucking...
Can I get the light on?
They made that mistake too many times in the 70s and the 80s, and not to mention,
because nobody fucking worked together, and nobody, you know what I mean?
Still don't.
Yeah. Oh, still, yeah, definitely.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you go from state to that's to me serial killing. The reason why they call it serial killing technically is because there's a prescribed method and a prescribed reasoning. Well, between organized and disorganized, because those are the two main profiles of serial killers. However, to me, a serial killer that just wanted to kill people and not get caught, that's the only part of it. Not that they had some psychological ideation that they had to follow, or that they had some kind of whatever it was. Basically, they were just completely psychopathic and wanted to just kill people over and over and never have to stop and never get caught. At this point, the fucking CSI exists. You can go on the internet and look up how to become a forensics expert. It's just not, you're not like qualified by the state. You can learn all the science. You can learn all the things that you need to know. You can learn about how you can just spray everything. In Boondock Saints, they spray down the blood with ammonia. You can't get it. Like, there's no way that there's not multiple serial killers in this country. If only because, like, I've always said this, I bet serial killers come to the fucking gathering, dude.
Oh, definitely. If not serial killers, then definitely people who've murdered people. You know what I mean? Like
multiple of those.
Because there's a lot of like gangsters and people.
People don't want it. That's why, by the way, people like it bothers me a little bit, because I understand why they marched. Because people that are not that down don't deserve to be profiled for the people that are.
Yeah.
Because the people that are, it is.
No, but that again, that's like, you could also say that for Grateful Dead heads with drugs. It's very, very marginal amount.
No,
people
it's vague.
that, like,
exactly, you're right.
But those bad, but most
Pareto
of the
distribution. Do you know what the Pareto distribution is? The Pareto distribution.
Selling acid.
We were talking about that on the ride.
What's it called?
The Pareto distribution. 10% of the population of a given field will create 90% of the output. So that means out of all juggalos, 10% of them, and I think that that's accurate, 10% of us are that down. That we are that down as a juggalo, that we get it. We understand we are the elite juggalos, regardless of how many gatherings we've been to or how many shirts we've bought or shows we've gone to. But there are also, within that, the juggalos that, like, because Jay writes about them in Behind the Paint. Like, what about all the juggalos that don't even have computers?
Yeah.
That ain't got nothing to do with it. They're just street juggalos.
Yeah.
Bro, I'll never forget when I had a fucked up situation years ago and ended up getting arrested, and I had to do a court date at friggin' Milford Superior Court, Milford Town Court. I was downstairs, and they were talking about how the guys came in from Worcester House because they were coming for their court dates. And, you know, they were fucking with me like, oh, yeah, I'll see you tonight and shit. But fucking, with that same dude who said that was talking about there are these two cats on my block that are juggalos that are they're gangsta-ass motherfuckers, and they go to the gathering every year. And that's my thing, is that there are so many, to put it to you like this, I guarantee that there are any number of juggalos out there that don't even know the second deck exists. They know the fucking six, and that's it.
Oh, so many over the
I
years.
believe that there are definitely still people out there. It's been 35 minutes, so if you got to go.
No, I can't see what time it is.
Oh, it's 12:43.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
But,
it should be good. I can hang on for another 5 minutes.
No,
What do you want? What else do you want to talk about these past? I had a blast for anybody listening who was at.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, we were gonna. That's right, we were.
You know, it's funny though,
that.
and I told you about it. But like when I was at Shadows, it's definitely what we would call in our area a rag down bar, which means like a place where you could have insane amounts of public inebriation and pretty much do whatever you want, and nobody would judge you for it.
Yep.
But
that's a fact.
you
Carl's too.
I went to the bar at Shadows, and I asked for a Pabst Blue Ribbon, and I was told they don't have that fancy shit there.
That's
and
fucking
I thought that was
so goddamn funny.
I was like, okay, so I thought that was dope because that's my kind of place. Where,
no, for real,
like,
man, I love that.
We got
shit.
the cheap shit. Come as you are. There's a sign on the door that said, "You know about COVID. Enter at your own risk."
I actually don't remember seeing that.
Yeah, well, it was a little piece of paper that was like scotch taped to the door. But I used to host open mics at a place called Yaz's Place in Quincy that, like, totally, it was literally called Rag Down Mondays. You know what I mean? Like, we fucking...
I remember that one. That was always in the parking lot.
Yeah, I know, dude. We would, that went on for a year. We did those open mics. It was nice because we always got to work out material.
Yeah.
And that's what both Shadows, shout out to Cody Manson too. He definitely
for sure. No, he was definitely one of the more humble and dedicated artists that I've met over the years. Because first of all, you heard his music, and you seen him perform.
Oh, he can put it down.
I remember just watching him testing the levels, fucking before the show. Just like. He's just real good at spitting by himself.
Anybody who obviously, if you weren't there, like he did end up actually performing a set, and
it was
cool.
more so that he wasn't able to promote that he was doing a set because either at Shadows or Carl's, I can't remember exactly.
Oh yeah,
I'm pretty sure Shadows.
The booking confliction.
It's going to be Ouija and then his whole crew. So at that point, it's like I think what happened was he was interested in working with me. And may have even overestimated my ability to draw, quite frankly, because I know that I only pulled in a couple of people. I didn't do a great job in that way, mainly because just like I did again today, some fucking how got banned from Facebook.
Yeah,
so,
it's pretty wild. But
it's insane.
In any case, he did a great set, and he kept the show going all night, supplied the additional microphones, and... super props to him, man.
He did have the extra microphones, but it was my microphone that was
the
I
didn't want to go. I didn't want to.
No, well, no, but that's even he like those his microphones worked. It was fine, but that microphone better fucking work. It cost me like $500 goddamn.
But and then Carl's gang was incredible.
Oh yeah, Shout out to Davis and Nettie
and Genosha S.
Well, she's not. She doesn't go by that anymore. She actually doesn't go by that anymore. It's just Mandy Rose.
Oh, Mandy. Okay. Well, yeah. Shout out to Mandy.
No, that's fair because that was how a lot of people knew her. Oh yeah,
nasty.
That's everybody.
Trevor Tooth, hyphy host of the evening.
No, true
Max
story.
did a good job too. Usually, not a lot of people know Max has been rapping for fucking damn near 20 years now. But these were the first shows he booked.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like I book shows in the Northeast.
Yeah,
I have for a long time. You know what I mean?
A lot.
But Max fucking did it, man. And he also seen how much of a pain in the ass it is.
I see. Here's the thing.
You knew what you were getting into.
I always knew that at the boots on the ground, and mainly because I've always been tight with the people that were putting the shows on.
Yeah.
So I know the level of like you got to make sure.
You watch my hair fall out over the years.
My thing was this at fucking put it to you like this. We went to me and Cody had to go and take care of some business before the show started, and technically started like an hour late, right? But we're 5 acts. We are able to open and close as we please. Ragdown bar. Carl's was too.
Yeah, well,
so
all the conditions were right, where it was flexible as hell.
Exactly. And a rigid show where it has to go a certain way. And dude, I just looked up this thing. I'm not even going to say it because I don't want to disparage them. But there are 33 acts, and they start at 3 in the afternoon. And I looked at it. There's only 2 headliners.
It's in New Hampshire, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I actually got invited to play that show.
My thing is, I got love for everybody that's doing that.
No, I do too. You know how the game goes. There's like the people I know who are playing that shit. ain't doing.
I just want to know because Ritz is gonna
shit.
pull a crowd. But
And
my
once
question
you-
is, when you look at that flyer, do you think to yourself,
What a
"I'm going to,
wonderful
I'm go." God
I
damn
do it every time.
I know
Yeah.
that when people look at a flyer like that, they think to themselves, "I better show up."
At 10.
They know
Yeah.
they know that they have a lot of space.
Yeah, no shit.
Especially for somebody like me, they let you do kind of re-entry though,
Yeah.
so that's a different story because that makes a whole
Is
it
it
a
at
whole
the same
party
place
day.
we just played?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
That's why I
That
say
place
it.
was all right, dude.
I don't disagree, and I think that
I'd like to hear it with the real sound system.
I think potentially it has the ability to be really great for a show.
Actually, the sound system was good there.
It
Now
was
that I'm
pretty
thinking,
good, yeah. My thing is this. I think it was... I think that shows like that, if you're going to do something all day, like props to Fury for the fact that he actually tried to get a sideshow going, but I saw so few people walked over.
Hey, man, I did a fucking outdoor toga party. I don't know if you played that one down in Simons years ago. It was a Weird Die Young fucking toga party. And I know what it's like, when I've done a lot of theme shows over the years, and
See,
it's hard to, it's like fucking spinning plates, dude.
What
And
did-
then when you're rapping too, like I had to be on all the cocaine back in the day. You know what I mean? Because you like
this
the
is
fucking
what I'll say.
Tasmanian
Remember,
devil. I gotta actually get out soon. But
No, true indeed.
To
No,
button
we
this
will-
up, I want to say, everybody who's listening, who was there, or even if you weren't there and you were watching the little streams I did online. It means the fucking world. I believe in that scene. And if you'll have me, I'll be out there again.
Oh, absolutely.
You know?
Oh, no. I'll tell you right now. They are 100%. Like, Nasty Bash is happening where if you can get the time off, you can come with me. But, they are, first of all, always doing stuff. They book legit shit there. Like, they book, pretty...
I seen awesome Dre's flyers on the wall.
Shit, there you have it, man.
All right, till next time.
Yeah, I'm gonna
ladies and
pop
germs.
back in. I'm gonna pop back in here with Get Good or Get Wrecked and fucking superhero segment and all that. I also have a new horror segment. I actually have to maybe I'll figure out the name before I come back in. But one way or another, same as Derek said, man. Thank everybody that came out to the shows, whether you were an artist, whether you were a fan, whether you were working the bar, whatever it was. From the bottom of my fucking heart, I love you because this was a thing that I basically, no bullshit, I just kind of wanted to prove to myself that I could do it.
You did it.
And yeah, basically, it wasn't a massive success. Like, it's not like hundreds of people came and I, walked out with a stack, but people were happy.
I was gonna say, what happened? People were fucking jumping up and down, 5-person mosh pits, but they were all into it.
Yeah.
When people are fucking peeking and chewing on pacifiers while you're rapping, okay, people having a good time. And they're screaming the shit that you're rapping.
No, the facts. No,
doesn't
that's...
matter if
Oh,
there's
no,
5,
yeah, no,
15.
shout outs to fucking Fats.
Yeah.
Like, that's the picture.
tag-
Yeah,
yo,
Picture It Didn't Happen. That's another podcast.
Yeah.
They've had me on there before, but yeah, no, he's the one that's him. Is fucking on acid screaming.
Oh,
my
before
fucking
I'm out
lyrics.
too, my new single that Max actually recorded for me, Phone Screen, is out on Spotify.
Yes, sir.
It's on Bandcamp, reverendtelevision.bandcamp.com.
There you go.
Or it's also on Spotify, iTunes, all that shit.
There you
Phone
go.
Screen, Reverend Television.
All right.
All right, I'll see you guys next week.
Shameless plugs. That's the way we got to do it.
Man, I don't get...
No, the shameless plugs are good. Fuck
Yes.
off. Shameless plug at all times.
Yeah.
Fucking
So plug next week.
The shameless anal plugs.
Yeah.
I will fucking holler at you guys in just a bit, and yeah, that'll be the thing.